Hi, Patrick here for Dollar Tree Theater, the Voters Edition. That's right, the Voters Edition happens every Friday, and this is where we pick five movies and let you guys vote on which movie that we should watch and review. Um, this week was a little different. I didn't know who was going to win this week. I only knew who wasn't going to win, and I knew it wasn't, and it turned out to be I was right. I only had one vote. But the movies I threw up for this week, I thought were all worthy. We had 12 Mighty Orphans, Memory, Save Yourself, Challengers, and Vengeance. And all, like I said, all worthy picks. One movie actually sort of, I had a sort of feeling how it was going to go because I already had three people come up and ask me, which is a very rare thing, by the way, to have someone ask me for my opinion. I'm like, wow, that's very flattering, actually. Um, they asked me to pick and or they wanted me to get my opinion on one of the movies I posted, and so I had a feeling it might have a slight edge. And but despite that, it was a pretty close week. It didn't really pull away until the last couple of days of voting. But the movie we'll be talking about is 2024's Challengers. So I don't get to review. I don't get to review too many movies within the calendar year. So that's also pretty new for me too. So let's talk a little bit about Challengers. Challengers was it was written. It was written by Justin Kuritzi, and it was directed by Italian director Lucas. See if I can say this name right because I don't want to kill it if I don't have to. If I can try not to. It is Lucas Guadagnino. Nino. Oh, sorry, Lucas. I'm probably killing your name. So basically, it's a non-linear story. For one thing, you have to understand that. What that means is that the movie moves from time frame to time frame. It goes from anywhere from the present day back up to 13 years, anywhere in between it. Key moments of this relationship. So you might be 1 minute might be watching in real time what's going on, and then it might flash you back to 8 years, and then it might bring you back up to 3 months, and then 5 years ago. So you have to really pay attention to the stories so you don't get lost. If you're not paying attention, you can find yourself like, how do we get here? So it's a pretty intricate story, to tell you the truth, and it works. It works. So basically, the story is about three young people, three great tennis players. Uh, Patrick Zewig, Art Donaldson, and then young ladies champion Tashi Duncan, and they all meet after Patrick and Art win the Boys Cup in the U.S. Open. They're young teenagers and they won the cup. So anyway, there's an after party and they meet Tashi. Both of the young men are completely infatuated with her, and so they go ahead and they're each making their play for her, and it actually ends up that they end up at a hotel, and well, things get a little bit further than everybody thinks is going to go, and then in one of the best moments of the scene of the movie, we see exactly what Tashi Duncan's what she's really all about, and she is nothing but a competitor. That is for sure. Uh, Patrick, Patrick and Art, um, remind me of the old Saturday Night Live of digital short three-way. That's what almost happens to those two through Tashi's manipulation of the situation. But they're both really good friends, and they both laugh about it. But they're still trying very hard to. They're very hard. They want to get, they want to basically want to date Tashi, and she says that whoever wins the tennis match the next day can have her phone number. So the boys are out there playing for a little bit more than just to win. They're playing to win to get a first crack at Tashi, and Patrick wins the match. And so he gets the phone number, and then later on he signals to his buddy Art that he had sex with her by they have a little signal to each other, and so I guess when each one of them has sex with a girl, they they do this little secret language in between them, and so the other person knows that the other person, so Art sees that Patrick has scored with Tashi. Um, so uh, while Art and Tashi want to stay at Stanford, and because they're all both there on scholarship, Patrick wants to go pro, and he turns pro as soon as he can, while Art and Tashi stay and finish out their careers at Stanford. But Tashi, unfortunately, she blows out her knee. She blows out her ACL, and that pretty much ends her tennis career. But she still wants to be in the game, and so what she does is uh, uh, she wants. Well, before that, when she blows her knee out, Art has made his play. Art has made his play. He wants to get on the action. So what he does, he pits Tashi and Patrick against each other by telling each of them that the other person doesn't really care about them as much as they think, and this indeed does cause a fight and between Tashi and Patrick. And when Tashi gets hurt, it's Art that's there for her and not Patrick. And by the time Patrick gets there, it's way too late, and Art has sneaked in. Um, so anyway, Art does go pro, and he has a very very successful career. And Patrick has not tapped his potential. He has not tapped his potential. He's a good player, but he's not elite. He's not a champion. In fact, we find out that he is ranked 271st in the world. Um, so he's there. He might make the second or third round once in a while, maybe win a small minor tournament here and there, but that's about it. But unfortunately, as we come to the present day, um, we find out that Patrick is actually playing at a Challengers event, and he is playing Art. And the reason why is because Art has gone on a deep losing streak. He cannot get his career going. He once was great, but now it seems like age and injuries have caught up to him, and he can't win. He can't. He's frustrated on the court, and basically what it is that he knows that his heart's not in the game anymore. He's banged up. He's run all over the world. He's won. He's already got just about everything that he could win except for a U.S. Open, which would make him a career slam winner, and that's it. Otherwise, he's done everything. He's won Wimbledon. He's won the French Open. All the majors, and so he just can't win. Well, Tashi wants him to keep playing, so she enters him into a challengers event. And a challenger event is a second tier professional tennis tournament. And what happens is a lot of times this young players up and coming that are trying to break into the ATP, the main tier, for players that are coming back from injury, and also for players who are sliding down the rope, who are still they're good enough to play the challenger circuit and even win once in a while, but they're not really good enough to make the main tour. And so we see that Tashi is going to enter Art into this challenger to get him some easy wins. Patrick enters it, but he is busted. He is broke busted. He is living in his car. He has no money. He's got his tennis rackets, and he has no money at all. And we see how far he is. When he checks inside, he basically guilts the attending person to splitting her breakfast with him. So, and then she drops the bombshell that one of the world's best players is going to be playing at his challengers event because he's counting on winning for the money. The first prize is $7,000, and while that's nothing to a player like Art, to Patrick, that's a lot of money. Uh, so Then we start sliding back up and down. We're starting to find, we follow all these bumps and bruises, non-linearly. So we're there when Tashi gets hurt. We're there when Art is there for her. We're there while Patrick struggles. We're there while key moments in their lives happen. Tashi realizing that her career is over. Um, Art, and while they're playing the final with each other, they're each thinking back to key moments to how they got here. Art and Patrick used to be best friends, but of course, when Tashi hurt herself, that ended when Art was there and Patrick was not. And so it goes up and down, and we see them playing this. This is actually the first time that they have met in a professional setting. The former best friends, first time they had played each other, because Art is here and Patrick is here, so they don't get a chance to play each other. So here they are, and they battle. As they're battling, we find out that Tashi has made a request to Patrick, even though she detests Patrick. She doesn't like him at all. She really doesn't. Um, but she needs him, and so she asks Patrick to do the unthinkable, and that is to throw the match, and she even seals it with sex. And then you start thinking, well, oh, that's going to be it. Well, Patrick has a little bit more on the ball than Tashi realizes, and as the two guys start playing, as they start two former friends start playing, well, Patrick sends a message over to Art, and it's liberating for Art. He's been looking for a way out, looking to retire, to relax, and Patrick gives him that. He gives him that, and at first he's furious, but then he realizes what his friend has done for him. Like he really has been his friend, and they played just a tremendous point on the tennis court. And at the end, they reunite as friends. And while Tashi, who's been watching them, she doesn't realize what's going on, but she does realize that what she saw was some fantastic tennis. And whenever she sees some fantastic tennis, she yells. So at the end of the movie, she gets up, she yells, "Come on!" and then we leave the film. All right, so what did I think of Challengers? Wow, I liked it. Um, I did. I liked it. I love the score for the movie. First of all, I got to tell you, the score saves the movie. I mean, I like the movie, but I wasn't in love with it. I mean, it's a solid movie. It made tennis really seem exciting. It really isn't. Tennis is Tennis may be fun to play, but it's hell to watch. I mean, it's like hockey, like professional hockey. It must be a lot of fun playing on the ice, but watching a hockey game live, not so much. Pretty boring actually. And I'm probably gonna get some heat for that, but I'm just telling you how I see it. Um, but the script by I don't know, trying not to crush his name, Koritsky, um, makes the game really exciting, and the characters are well rounded, and there's some you like everybody in the movie despite really being okay with not to. Despite yourself, you're sitting there going like, these are not necessarily nice people, but they really aren't. They really aren't that bad. Tashi's super competitive. Patrick's, and I don't think Art realizes this when they talk, that he thinks that Art's been just he thinks Patrick's been going around slumming, even though he's supposedly been a rich kid. You get the impression when he said that he does not know Patrick's true situation, and that is there ain't nobody supporting him. His mom and dad aren't back there, playing. He's pretending to be he's coming around as a traveling tennis player, and he's No, he truly is down and out. There's no support line for him. That's probably one of the reasons why he went pro instead of going to Stanford. Um, uh, we definitely see that Tashi is, man. She's probably easily the most complex person in the film, as played by Zendaya. Um, she is living vicariously through them both. She's living her tennis life through art. Like she wanted to be a professional tennis player through art, and she wanted to have. I think she wanted to play like art, but be like Patrick. You know, personality wise, because art is sort of a. He's not really. He doesn't really have much personality. Not compared to Patrick. Patrick has a lot of personality in his shows. Um, Again, the music is tremendous, and of course it should be because it's done by Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor. You might know them from Nine Inch Nails. Yes, I should. Can I say that? Can I say that we did a show with Trent Reznor? Yes, yes. Trent Reznor is a gentleman, and I'm not surprised. The music pops. It really moves this movie, and the cinematography too is excellent. For a sports movie, totally digging the cinematography. Like I said, it made tennis really, really much more exciting than what it is. And let me see if I can get the name for the cinematographer. Sayon Bahu. Oh my gosh, how come I just can't be Jim Jones? Sayon Bahu Mukadipram. You know, I just killed that. Um, but his cinematography is fantastic, and the film is directed very, very well by Lucas Garrett. By Lucas. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say last names. And the movie, though there is a couple of slow patches in it, toward the end, it's a little bit slow patch, slow moving. So this movie probably could have been cut for time. It's over 2 hours long. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes long. You probably could have cut at least 15 to 20 minutes of this to make it just a little bit more tighter, and it would have worked. Um, but otherwise that I thought it went really, really well. I thought it played well, and I liked all the actors in it. I don't know the two male actors, Josh O'Connor, who played Patrick, and Mike Feist, who played Art. I never see them before. I've seen Zendaya in a couple of movies, and she is really striking. She is good in this movie. Boy, she is on fire in this movie. She might get a nomination for her role here because her Tashi is she's a very interesting and complex person. All right, that is it. I've already spent 20 minutes on this. That's all I'm going to spend on this mini deep dive. But thanks for watching. We will be back next week with another movie. I'll be putting those out here in a minute. You guys can start the voting all over again. But what did you think of Challengers? I definitely want to know. I know some people already have told me about they reviewed it in the community. But what is your take on Challengers? Did you see it? Did you like it? It did okay at the box office. It was made for $55 million, and it made 94 million, so it made a little profit. So decently well for a tennis movie. I think it did really, really well for that. Um, but what did you guys think of it? Did you what really what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? So let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, all right, that's it. And we will see you next Friday for we'll see you next Friday for the next one comes out. Thanks so much, and peace. Oh, hit the like button too, and if you're new to this channel, hit sub.